Kinusaiga is a Japanese textile art form invented in the 1980s by the artist Setsu Maeno. Her work is detailed and evocative. I've been seeing more and more pieces lately based on this method of textile art, so I wanted to try my hand at it. Hi, it's Brienne from Online Fabric Store here. Do you want to learn how to make this type of textile art with me? Follow along and let's get started. For Kinusaiga, you need a foam board, fabric scraps, a craft knife, and a small, pointed, thin stick. I am using some plastic tools designed for sculpture work and a seam ripper in select spots. First, I like to prep the back of my board. I will be tucking in the edges for a neat finished look, so I make a score 1/2 inch from the edge around the perimeter of the back. The foam board I am using is 1 inch thick foam insulation board. I have seen many folks use adhesive-backed foam board, but I'm using what's available to me. I haven't had any issues using this board without adhesive, but if you'd like, you can use it with a layer of spray adhesive or fabric glue. I also like to sketch out my design. I often make a tiny mock-up on paper and then transfer it very lightly to my foam board before I score it. For this one, I'm just going to freehand my design. I have found that my fabric tucks best if my corners hit at 45-degree angles at the edges, so that I don't have to deal with excess fabric. Try to make your design accommodate this. Use your craft knife to score your design. Be careful not to crush or damage the foam by going slowly and removing your knife if it starts to tear. You can do this step all at once or piece by piece as your project requires. Match up your pieces of fabric to your design and begin the process of poking the fabric into the foam. I like to start with a straight edge for ease, but it doesn't matter too much. Once your fabric is pressed in place, trim away the excess. You will need to practice a few times to get the hang of this. You want enough fabric that your edges won't pop out, but not so much that the bulk prevents the edges from being tucked in. I am estimating that I leave about 1/8 of an inch of fabric. Now use your tool to press the edges down securely so that none of the raw fabric shows. A very small tool like a seam ripper is useful in the tight spaces. Sometimes, when tucking a piece of fabric, you will have some edges that fray or snag. I have found that some fabrics don't work too well for this type of project, so just swap to another. My best results have come from flannels, broadcloths, quilting cottons, and other moderately thin, non-shiny, non-stretch fabrics. Choosing too thick of a fabric will make this process very difficult. When you get to a piece that borders the edge, you will need to wrap it over to finish it off. Cut extra slits on the side all the way to that backing channel you made and tuck across the side to the back. Once you finish tucking all your fabric pieces, you are all set. I like to give my work a pass with a lint roller to get off any excess dust and fabric scraps. You can choose to frame your piece or hang it up as is. If you want to put a hook on the back of your work, make sure you use a foam-safe glue. Thank you for watching this OFS project. Have you tried Kinusaiga before? Let us know what you made in the comments. See you next time!